orange juice and some cough medicine, and I didn't know anything about sugar shock. So I just took a glass of the orange juice and just gulped it down. And how much later that I came to, uh, I had a concussion, and so I couldn't work out. I just really, even now, I can't really work out the way I would like to,
Right.
because from 2018 to 2022, it was like, they could have put me a bed in the gym.
Yeah.
I was working out like when I was in my 40s. It was like a rejuvenation.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you call it? I won't say renaissance because I don't know what that means. I could drop some words, but my mother told me if you don't know the meaning of it, don't say it because somebody might ask you what that means.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say run, but I know what rejuvenation means.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm good with that one. Don't ask me what it means though.
Right. That sounds good though.
Let me ask you this question. So about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we was having more of like an administrative meeting, and we was having it at the Highland Hills Library.
Okay.
And I was talking about a little bit of the history as far as the snake and the Panthers is concerned locally. Now, of course, I have been advised over the years by having these sort of conversations with you like we have it now.
Yeah.
But just from your recollection and your experiences, in terms of the Black Panther Party here in the city of Dallas, how did it get started?
Well, the Black Panther Party came out of SNCC. There's a brother. I'm gonna use some words that I don't usually use. It was a brother, the Harris brothers. Remember Big Tex? They called him Black Ed, and they called his brother Nigger Ed.
Oh goodness.
And they went to them and some more brothers went to Oakland to get a chapter in Dallas. But the books were closed because of that deal between the East Coast and the West Coast at that time, and so they weren't admitting any more Panther chapters. But they gave them, if I remember correctly, they gave them permission to be a part of what was called National Committee to Combat Fascism. That was the Panther thing in Dallas, and that was what I remember as the first manifestation of the Panther Party in Dallas, because those brothers had this is old brain. Those brothers had broken away from a dude named Curtis Gaines, or was that it? But in any event, it was a split with SNCC, and I think Fahim was in prison. Him and Charles Beasley for a bank robbery. I think Ernie McMillan and Quincy Williams were in prison. So the original leadership of SNCC had been removed and placed in prison. I think Ernie and Quincy, they went to Africa before they came back and turned themselves in. But yeah, to answer your question, the Black Panther Party was started by SNCC in Dallas. Yeah, and that was kind of major because SNCC and the Panther Party had some significant problems before that. That's why they talk about the East Coast factions and the West Coast faction. Remember when the Panther Party and SNCC tried to get together because Huey said they needed the organizing abilities of SNCC, and they came together and they had some physical confrontations, and Stokely, who was now known as Kwame Ture, uh, broke off and started All African People's Revolutionary Party. But for a while, the Panthers and SNCC didn't set horses. That's why Ernie never did join the Black Panther Party. When we asked him to come in, he said, "No, man, I'm not going to do that." Matter of fact, the last time I saw Ernie, I was talking to him about that. I said, "Was that behind what happened between the brothers in New York?" He said, "Well, something happened in Oakland," but he didn't elaborate on it. So I left it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a confused. I don't use profanity, but it was kind of like a cluster beep kind of thing. Yeah. But you know, revolution is you know, they talk about politics, but revolution is kind of like making sausage too.
So let me ask you this question. So when I'm gonna say a few people's names, and you just kind of recollect kind of what their contributions was.
Okay.
I start with someone that you'll be very familiar with, Skip Shockley.
Man, Skip Shockley was kind of like, I don't really know how to explain it. Skip Shockley was a centrifugal, I can say it what, a centrifugal force. Skip was able to relate to everybody, whatever their so-called faction was. People would come to Skip because Skip was one of those people that he was unbiased, and he's the one that recruited me to the Panther Party, and I had wanted to, you know, join the Panther Party, but I think I told you the last time I was hustling. I was trying to get me some money, and me and Skip talked. Now I tell you what happened, right? I was talking to the sisters, and Skip said, the sisters can't deal with nothing but brothers in the party. I said, well, shoot, fine, that sister will sign me up right now. And Skip was my mentor until the day he died. We didn't have a manifestation of the Panther Party, but we were still Panthers. Skip was a Panther till the day he died. I think you were at his funeral.
Yes.
We had the Panther flag on his casket. Brother, when we went to the grave site, we had I put it like this, and don't ask me what this means. Skip was the quintessential. Say it for me.
Quintessential.
Yeah.
Quintessential
Panther. Yeah. And he was always just cool. If he was upset, it was hard to know it. People say that about me, but you can push me to what that song say? Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. Mm-hmm. But you could push Skip all the way to the edge, and it was like there wasn't nothing going on. And then when you walk away, you find yourself bleeding. Yeah, Skip was a smooth brother, man. Yeah. I still miss him. Right. I still miss him.
Let's talk about Odinga Kambui.
Odinga Kambui was like an administrative genius. Odinga Kambui, he joined the party in Chicago. And when he came back to Dallas, he was just like the cat that could come up with stuff. If you needed a ride, when we first started organizing in Dallas, we needed a way to get to the airport to get the papers. And you know how he talks. Well, I'm gonna call Joe Long and I'm gonna give her your number.
Right.
I'm gonna give you her number, and she has a Range Rover, so just go out there and get the keys, and she'll give them to you, and You can go get the papers.
Yeah.
If people needed to go somewhere, like if you needed to fly somewhere, as a matter of fact, Odinga is the one that financed Fahim's trip to Oakland so he could get the charter and bring it back.
Mm.
Fahim could always come up with resources. And the thing about Odinga didn't have a bias either. A lot of people assume that because you're a Panther, because you're part of a revolutionary consciousness, you have some kind of biases and different stuff like that. But one of the things that we were taught in dealing with revolutionary and communalism is we looked at everything objectively. We applied the concept of dialectical materialism and scientific socialism to it, and then we still acknowledged our culture as African people. Odinga was great at that. He's still good at it. The brother's a genius. Just think, people who have multiple myeloma, once it's diagnosed, they're gone, within a year or two? Odinga's been living with that for, about 20 years now. Because he knows what herbs to put together and to combine the natural healing with the pharmaceutical stuff. He introduced me to some stuff that I use right now. It's called soursop leaf.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm not feeling well, I put together some soursop leaf, some peppermint leaf, ginger root, lime, and turmeric root. And I'm good.
Gotcha.
And I learned that from Odinga, not just Odinga, but I learned that pretty much from the way Odinga took care of himself. This brother had multiple myeloma, and he was riding around on a bicycle. You probably seen him on that bicycle. Yeah.
What do you think about, let's go with Fahim Minka. How did you first meet Fahim Minka?
When I first met Fahim, we had the Black Intercommunal Party in Denton. And Fahim had just got out of prison, and it was this Caucasian revolutionary named Charlie Young. Charlie Young was the founder of the Bodog Patriots. We were talking about real estate a while ago. Charlie Young.
I spoke to his son.
Yeah, they started the Dallas Tenants Association, which is now, Texas? No, it's Dallas Tenants Union. But anyway, Charlie Young brought him to Denton, and we met him, and I was fascinated because the brother was a political prisoner. He went to prison, him and I know you're probably going to ask me about Charles Beasley. Him and Charles Beasley went to prison for trying to raise money for the political struggle by taking money from the capitalist banks. That not only took a lot of courage, but it also took a lot of self-esteem. Black people weren't supposed to rob banks. If we robbed anything, we were supposed to rob liquor stores and cleaners, little small stuff.
Right.
But them cats went into banks. And I'm not magnifying.
Glamorizing.
Yeah, I'm not. But that wasn't grand larceny, because it was for the revolution.
Right.
Yeah, it was for. They did it for the people.
Right.
And they went and did their time.
When did they go in?
I think around what was it, 68, 79, 69, 70.
68.
Yeah, they went in, and when I met Fahim, it was in around 71.
Okay.
And he always dug me because he had a family and he needed to move. And he asked the brothers in the party to come help him move. And I can't remember this very clearly, but he said, comrade, you was the only one that showed up. He said, you did more work than I did. I said, well, Fahim, I just come from a very intense, I'm paraphrasing what I told him. I just come from a very intense bodybuilding facility where I gained a lot of strength.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, well, I went to the penitentiary too, but I still don't have as much energy as you did. But let me talk about that grand larceny stuff. There's a term we use in the Black Panther Party called illegitimate capitalism. And Huey used to, and even in Dallas, we used to, in church you give tithes. We used to collect tithes from the good brothers on the streets because they wanted to be a part of the revolution, but they were caught up in their hustle. So when they would get money, they just chunk it out. So everybody has a chance to participate at some level and struggle. But that wasn't what you asked me.
Okay. Charles Hillman.
I first met Charles Hillman at El Centro College. I started a group called Black Students for Community Survival. And that was when Fahim got the charter. And I think I told you about the ism schism that happened with that. But Charles Hillman came to El Centro College, and it was kind of funny how I met him. And I was organized, and he said, man, what you know about the Black Panther Party? I said, I heard about it. And he came back the next day, he was kind of laughing. He said, man, because back then we called Fahim Fred. He said, man, why you didn't tell me you was a Panther? I said, well, you asked me what I knew about the Black Panther Party. I told you, I'd heard about it. I knew a little something about it. He said, man, Fahim said that if it wasn't for you, he probably wouldn't have been in the party. I said, nah, he probably came in. Because one of the things that I try to practice now, we had a deal in the party that you subordinate your ego to the needs of the people. And you don't give information unnecessarily. So if he didn't know I was a Panther, and I didn't really know him, so I needed to get to know him. But me and that brother did a lot of work together. We put together a group called Ghetto Arts Theater. And we did a play called From Africa to a Bicentennial. I wrote it and he directed it. And I don't know if you ever heard of Jay Ruffin, but he was the first black anchor on KRLD News, which is, I think, now a Fox station. And this Jay Ruffin said he had seen plays in Russia. He seen plays in France, but he had never seen anything like From Africa to a Bicentennial.
From Africa to a Bicentennial.
And it was my writing, but the way Charles directed that, actually, give more credit. The way he and Vicky Washington directed that, it took the words that I wrote, and it made it real. Yeah, I got a lot of love for that brother. And as you probably know, me and him used to bump heads all the time because I was a big brother and he needed to act like a little. But yeah, he last time I saw him before he died, he would tell me, Akin, man, we need to do such and such and such and such. I say, Charles, I don't remember how old I was then. I think I was about 70. I said, Charles, I'm 70 years old. You know what I need to do? He said, what's that? I said, I need to go take a nap. He said, oh, comrade, you know how he laughed. Oh, comrade, man, come on. I said, no, Charles, I'm going to go take me a nap. Who's next?
The women of the party. We was talking about.
Oh,
this.
yeah, man.
Let's talk about the women, because what's often here, because we know about the brothers.
Yeah.
We know a little bit about them, and we can read a little bit of story. But the contribution of the women is needed, and needs to be discussed locally, especially locally in the city of Dallas. So.
Well, when we were organizing the party in Dallas, when we first got started after we had left Denton, and John Creer, well, that was before John Creer. The brother out of Houston, they call him Boko now, but that then he was Charles Freeman.
Yeah.
When he told me to organize a party in Dallas, I went and got with Skip and Odinga, Malik. I don't know if you ever met Malik, but Malik, and I don't know if you ever met Norris Batts, but we needed a headquarters. A sister named Dania Matunde, and a sister named Shani. Their government names were Sandra Bryant and Sandra Evans. They had an apartment in Prince Hall Village Apartments. I think it's called Oasis now.
Oh, really? So right down on Ledbetter.
Yeah. And they let us have that as a headquarters.
The real estate, right?
Where we went and did taxes at that one time. That's
Yeah, right next to.
by AutoZone.
Yeah. And and they even had me to stay there with them. And a lot of folks thought that because of the intercommunalism process, they thought I was involved with the sisters, but it was a totally I won't say platonic, because I'm 100% man, so I can't do like Plato. But it was pure revolutionary work. Yeah, and those were two of the sisters. Dania, you may have heard of Dania. You remember? You ever heard of the Omari dancing drum?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dania was the principal dancer, the principal founding dancer of that, with her, Hassan, Karaoke. Karaoke's name before he left here was
Arthur.
Ife.
Oh, Ife Yomi.
Ife Yomi. Yeah. Oh, you heard about Arthur Riggins?
Mm-hmm.
I thought y'all young people didn't know nothing about that. But and then there was in Dallas, there was a sister named Paula Ransom. She was there in Denton when I got there, and the sister did a lot of work in the struggle. She sold newspapers. She recruited brothers, because it's one thing we have to take as a reality. And actually, my father told me this when I was trying to organize the Black Students for Community Survival. He said, "How many members you got, son?" I say, I got about 5 or 6 guys that come regular." He said, "How many women you got?" I said, "We ain't got no women yet." He said, "I tell you what, you start recruiting some good looking women. He said, them men gonna show up." And I'm telling you, man, Paula Clyde would come in from selling papers, and she would have invited brothers to the political education classes. There wasn't no room for us. And the sister was absolutely brilliant. You'll find that sisters in the political struggle, generally, if we assess them by the European concept, would be either be way above average intelligence or at the genius level, because struggle attracts highly intelligent people. But anyway, yeah, Paula Clyde, and then there was a sister in Denton named Sunsaria Messiah. She was there. There was some tragic things happened to her. She went out by herself one night and she was assaulted by some Denton police, and it traumatized her, and she had to go home. But she was one of the administrative people in Denton. As a matter of fact, I think she still owns a newspaper in Houston. She's from Houston. I think she still owns a newspaper in Houston. She was a publisher. Do you remember when they had that deal about the book, There's a Black Panther Party in a Town Near You? Anyway, she came up then, and she paid for everybody to go to dinner. After that, it was kind of like a reunion, actually.
Right.
Another sister, we have to take it in consideration, and I've already told her that I ain't never tried to say she wasn't. But Diane Ragsdale was a member of the Black Panther Party, but she started an organization called Black Women's United Front in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Her and my son's mother, Rose Shockley Dash Hall, they started the Black Women's United Front in Dallas. Who else? Marilyn Clark was involved in SNCC from the beginning. That's Ernie McMillan's cousin, and she's still involved. She does a deal called Black Dallas Remembered, and she collects. And if you're looking for some history, you need to get in touch with Marilyn Clark.
Okay.
She is like, and she needs somebody to deal with that, because I won't say she's older than I am because we're on tape and she might hear it. But she's been around a minute, and she needs help archiving and different stuff. I mean, she got stuff all the way back to, whoa. Who else? There were so many sisters.
I'll give you another name. Charles Beasley. Where'd you meet Charles Beasley at? And tell them a little bit about Charles Beasley.
Charles Beasley was the first, not just African American, the first person I ever knew of to hijack a plane. He hijacked a plane. I think he was trying to get to either Cuba or Algeria. He spent a lot of his life in prison because of his political activities. And the brother was absolutely brilliant. When I first met Charles, I didn't meet Charles early on because Charles was in prison when I got out. I met Charles relatively recently. I'd say, I think y'all might introduce me to Charles. I mean, I'd heard of him and I knew of him and we knew of each other. But I think I first met Charles when y'all were doing that deal for Marvin Crenshaw over Dallas. Was it Dallas Cafe? Mm-hmm. Now I know I had met him before then through Fahim, but not really knowing him. Mm-hmm. And man, we got to know each other. We got to knowing each other, man. And he said, people said I was crazy, but you was crazier than I was. I said, well, I'm a preacher's kid, so, that crazy go with the territory. Yeah. But Charles, brilliant. I'm talking about a giant. I considered him, Ernie McMillan, Fahim Minka, and Skip Shockley as giants. Literally giants. I'm talking about leadership, Jack. Leadership. And I appreciate you taking me to his funeral, and I apologize for not riding back with you, but Marilyn Clark had air conditioning. It was hot that day. It was hot that day. You know I'm an old man.
Oh, you talking about that van?
Yeah, you riding that van. They don't know nothing about that van. They ain't see the van. We just got rid of it about 3 weeks ago.
But
They
man,
owned a lot of stuff too.
yeah.
Time to get rid of it.
So me and Charles got to be real close. You know how you say that him, if I hear him, you talk to him, he couldn't get off the phone.
Mm-hmm.
He probably said that about me too. Just won't
Oh
say
no,
it.
not you. No.
But I used to get on the phone with Charles, and he would be so fascinating. He would be so fascinating. I would have to remember, Charles, I gotta go.
Right.
So where you gotta go?
That's when we started our new.
I gotta get off this phone, man. He just laughed. And he was such an amazing brother. Charles was an atheist, right? Charles was an atheist. But he cut the church yard of a church down in Rossum where I think his family went.
He actually named me a registered agent of that church.
Yep. And
Zion
Yep.
Baptist Church.
And what was really cool about Charles, like if we were sitting around here and we was having a meal, and I would say the blessing. He was an atheist, but you know what he'd do? He'd bow his head, and when he got through, he'd say, "Man," he said, "when you swim in the sea of the masses, you have to be cognizant of everybody's belief systems and cultures. You know, you can't impose yours on people, but you can recognize other people's belief system." Oh man, brilliant brother. And I dug how he took care of his wife. Because you remember when y'all had that thing over there? His wife was with him. Mm-hmm. And man, he was taking care of her like, what Snoop say, gentle sentimental. Yeah, I mean, it's like she was his treasure. He treated her
He said that.
like a treasure.
He said because everywhere that he went when he was locked up, she visited. Even when he was out the country.
Yeah.
So he made his promise that no matter what, he was going to take care of her.
Mm-hmm.
So when she passed away, Charles Beasley passed away literally almost the next day after she passed away.
Yeah. It was like eagles or geese.
Yeah. I was thinking penguins.
You know, they
Yeah.
oh yeah. She needs to say that on here, don't she?
No, I just want to make sure she was.
Okay. I prompted him.
Yeah.
Let me explain something to you, y'all.